Hello, kia ora, I'm Philip Duncan and thank you so much for joining us for our Thursday update for March the 23rd. It is really good to be back with you all again. Let's get into the forecast as we look at this big area of high pressure, and that explains why it is a little cooler around the country at the moment. You've really got that feeling of autumn in the air. So a southerly flow, very light, fading out as that high rolls on in. Up in the tropics, it's fairly quiet. There's still a little bit of low pressure hanging around, but La Nina has now officially finished, and we are on the way, I think, towards an El Nino later this year, which means more high pressure basically out here in the Tasman, and that encourages drier weather for the North Island and eastern areas. So it's a bit of the old switcheroo from where we were with La Nina, where wet weather is more likely down in the southwestern side of New Zealand, and the northeastern areas look like they'll be drier in the months ahead. It doesn't mean that you're still completely out of the woods for a tropical low or any kind of rain event for the North Island, but it means that their frequency does look as though it will be a little bit more reduced. So that's something that we'll be talking about in our Climate Watch update, which will be coming out in the first week of April. Let's have a look at the rainfall coming up. This is from Friday morning, from 7 o'clock in the morning, and it's starting to show this upcoming weather pattern that we're likely to be seeing more so in the months ahead, where the rain's over here on the western side, especially the lower half, and eastern and northern areas remain mostly dry. If you don't make sense of this rainfall map, you can see the rain accumulation maps at weatherwatch.co.nz, and of course your local rainfall totals. Over in Australia, not a lot really going on in the north and the west, but over to the east, around Sydney and coastal New South Wales, for the next 2 days, and this is from today, Thursday, you've got around about 35 to 45 millimetres coming through into the city there, into other areas slightly to the north and the south. But here is the forecast as we go into Friday. That high pressure zone finally moves in. So another cool start to the day for the North Island, but lower down in the country, a bit more of a northwest flow coming through. Here's a very weak low pressure system on its way. And as you can see around Australia and much of the tropics, not really a lot going on. A few showers here and there, but no sign of any major storms. By Saturday, we're seeing that rain linger around the eastern side of Australia. On the New Zealand side, that cold front moves into the west coast. It's not much, delivers a little bit of wet weather, and then it breaks apart. But the temperatures are certainly dropping a little bit behind that system. Nothing too major, but it's that sort of autumnal time of year where sort of one day's mild, the next day cools down, and windy westerlies blowing through central parts of the country there on Saturday. By Sunday, that's the leftovers of the cold front. So you may be seeing, Sunday, you may be seeing a few showers lingering around the north. It won't be much, but it might be a little bit cloudy around Auckland, and not overly windy, but a bit of a west to southwest breeze coming through for you. Mostly dry elsewhere, only a few showers down around Fiordland, and the showers around Sydney finally do start to clear up. So next week is looking like this. Not too bad for the North Island, mostly dry. For the areas that have been hit by all the nasty flooding over January and February, the good news is it stays mostly dry over in those eastern areas. And the windy westerlies return, stormy stuff down here in the Southern Ocean. And we've got a little bit of low pressure around the south of Australia, driving in some rain for Adelaide, Melbourne, maybe Hobart, although Hobart's closer to this high pressure zone. By Tuesday, though, it changes and that low sort of stretches out into Tasmania. Bit of rain for you, and that curves up around Sydney. But between Australia and New Zealand, there's the next high pressure zone. So, before a high rolls in, that's when you get the southerly. So the southerly is here. Temperatures are down again for you on Tuesday around the South Island. And the rain is a little bit more focused on the eastern side rather than the western side. There's also a little bit of low pressure up here to the north, south of Tonga, but it's nothing to worry about. It's moving away from land, and even for the Cook Islands, maybe brings in a little bit of rain for you or a few showers, but again, it's mostly to the south of you. And just further towards New Zealand, Wednesday, there is that cold southerly, so the Chatham Islands will be feeling it. But elsewhere around the country, it's not too bad, maybe a few showers and a bit cooler over here on the eastern side of the North Island though. And then there is the next big low moving towards us from Tasmania. So the weather pattern at the moment is classic autumn. It's up and down, highs and lows moving through, but the tropics certainly are much quieter than where they have been over the past few months. Before I go, I would very much like to acknowledge all the incredible comments that have come through to us following our family tragedy that we've had. It's always tough when you lose a family member, but when that person is much younger than you and it's unexpected, that's a whole other level. So I just wanted to say thank you very much to everyone, not only to the viewers, but also to the people here at WeatherWatch who helped us out, Sean and Aaron in particular. So thank you to everybody. Our schedule's a little bit broken up because of this. I'm here for Friday this week, back again next week for Monday and Tuesday, then a few more days with the family, and the following week is April, and that's when our schedule returns to normal, and I am very much looking forward to that, probably as much as you are too. That is all from me. Thank you once more, and we'll see you again on Friday.